Don't miss the cool APC from Aliens.
Spiky bits.
What's up, hobby maniacs? Rob Baer with you again today, checking out this awesome 32mm scale Aliens APC kit from Prodos Games. This thing came out recently and we finally got our little paws on this bad boy right here. And as you can see from the back of the box, it is incredibly well detailed and for the most part pretty well accurately represented to what we saw in Aliens 2. Insert all your mostly come out at night quotes here. Man, this kit is pretty sweet and I cannot wait to take a closer look with you guys. So here it is right here, a little closer look at the back of the box itself. I had to tear this thing open to get into it. It is extremely well packed, believe it or not. But you can kind of see all the different detail here. Nice roomy interior. This top plate actually comes off. The back cannons are actually on a rail system here. The phased plasma cannons are on the rail system. They can pivot, they can turn, they can go up, they can go down, all sorts of cool stuff. We'll show you that here in a sec. The gunner position right here is going to be directly aft of the driver, and then of course you have the tactical operations center where we saw Lieutenant Gorman in the movie himself just hanging out, and then driver seating right there. But overall, I think it's a very well detailed kit with lots of potential, lots of cool moving parts and things. Now, I haven't put it together, and that's kind of why I'm showing you these product shots right here. But, you know, these kits from Prodos are incredibly well detailed. We've shown you some of the Warzone Resurrection stuff. Here's the main components to it. So this is going to be pretty much the top roof section right there. Now this is kind of to give you an idea of what we're looking at. This is the front is to my right, and then this is the top plate that's going to go across right there. Now they've got this like interlocking kind of system here to snap it together, but it does need to be trimmed up a little bit, so it isn't going to lock together right here, but you can tell it will definitely go together. You just have to do a little trimming of the flash right there on this little nub. But I think it's a really neat little way to do it. Let me pull the rest of the parts out here so we can have them handy and throw this box over here for later. So now we can get a better look at some of the detail here. There's a tactical operations center in the rear crew compartment. This thing will hold up to 13, I believe the tech spec was on it. They actually harness in, so you can leave this in the dropship. Now, it won't actually fit. If you have the Cheyenne dropship, it actually won't fit in the Cheyenne dropship. That's just movie magic. It just didn't work that way. Now, it looks like we got a little bit of a little scrap piece right there, but expertly sculpted here. All the TVs look like TVs. You've got random wiring and stuff. There's where the TAC operations chief goes, and then in the front you've got, this is actually a separate piece that locked, somehow I left in here. Oh well, I guess that locked in a lot better. Those tolerances are a lot better than I thought they were. So the rack of rifles is actually a separate piece that I was just playing around with. There's more of the TVs, the front sections where you put things in. The nerve gas goes right there, or whatever they talked about in the movie. I forget what it was, but those canisters go right there. And then the front, you're gonna have the Gatling gun. You got the tow hooks, the windscreen right there. So floor, sides, everything is expertly sculpted. Super excited about that. Even the top here. Now this isn't going to cover the whole thing. The back has its own piece, which is where the phased ion cannons go along this little track right here. Again, it needs a little bit of trimming, so we're not gonna harp too much on that, but I can show you it will still actually move. Now here's the tires themselves. We'll start with the tires. These actually are going to snap in, believe it or not. So they snap in just like that. You can kind of squeeze it, but you don't want to put too much pressure on it after you got it all cleaned up, or paint them separate. So these are actually going to spin, believe it or not. like once you get them on there, you can spin them, which is kind of cool. Like this sort of movement, and normally, you know, you require magnets or something like that. So it's really cool to see this sort of forward-thinking tech from a company, a third-party company that doesn't have, you know, unlimited budgets and such. Here's the phased ion cannons, and they too are going to swivel. But I mean, take a look at the detail here. Very, very cool stuff. All right, so let's look at the driver. So this is, where are we at? This is the driver. He's gonna lock in right here. I don't want to force it. It might need a little trimming, so we'll just kind of leave it right there. And then this is the gunner. Again, it's gonna need a little trimming. I don't want to force anything. And this is his heads-up display, which is gonna lock in at 2 different spots. Those nubs right there are absolutely gonna lock in right there once it's all lined up correctly, and then his hands will lock in. But we'll just put that down here. Let's see if we can get you a picture of how this goes. Right there, you can see it a little bit better, the painted version, of course, just to give you an idea. And then you'll have the tires right there, and then slide into the back. This is where the ops center is also going to go. So very cool looking, and that is going to be, let's give you a better picture of that. So somewhat like this once you get it all painted up and you get both sides in there. But you can see from the painted picture that this will, you can kind of, now that you know where to look, you can see it in the painted picture. But again, it slots in very well. And you can almost, if you didn't know where to look, you wouldn't be able to see that that is slightly raised right there in the painted picture. How cool is that? So that's where all that goes. And then the rack, these little nerve gas canisters go right here, or whatever they are. I forget what they said they are in the movie. And then in the front, again, the swivel for the Gatling turret is going to lock in, so they'll be able to swivel. I don't want to mess with it quite yet. And certainly last but not least is this. Hold on, let's do it this way. So this requires, okay, so this is going to snap into here, but I don't want to quite do it yet because I don't want to lock anything into place before we have a chance to trim anything down. So what I'm going to do is show you how it slides on the rail. Let's see. So this is going to slide. I had it earlier. There we go. And once you put the top plate on, again, it needs a little bit of trimming, but it all seems to line up. Oop, there goes Gorman. The bugs got him. There you go. So it's going to slide up this track nice and easy once you get it all cut down and trimmed up. I just don't want to force anything. There you see it made a successful transition up to this rail, and boom, and then it's gonna, this goes underneath here. Again, it needs a little bit more trimming, but it should stay right there and not slide forward. So that is pretty much all. Oh, and then the hatch goes on, it goes over top. It actually slides onto these rails, believe it or not. It's gonna be another rail up top. So this actually kind of looks like it will move too, but I don't know for sure because I haven't gotten all this into place here yet. Let's see. Yeah, so it does appear to lock in. There we go. Okay, neat. So this is a pretty cool kit. I wish it snapped together a little bit better, but it is, at the end of the day, a resin kit. You are going to have to do a little bit of work because of its size. And speaking of size, let's just approximate here. Say it's this big, which again, I don't want to cause any harm to the model. So say it's this big right here, which is roughly, I would say, about 7 inches. Here is what we all know and love affectionately, the Lumen Rust battle tank Deathcore Krieg. So you can definitely tell it is roughly the same length as, I suppose, a Lumen Rust battle tank with trench rails, but it's going to be significantly bigger than, say, something like a Rhino, and this is how wide it is. So it's only about 3 inches wide, give or take. So it's going to be longer than a Rhino and slightly thinner than a Rhino, but it's still pretty neat. Obviously a different profile from something like a Chimera and things like that out there. But again, it's a very cool kit, very true to the movie and true to a lot of the things that we know and love about the sci-fi universe. And if you do play the Aliens versus Predator game, this is going to fit in one board tile. So it comes with the update, the 2nd edition rules snippet, and then also it comes with the heist special rule or mission scenario where you can actually steal stuff and kind of move around the board itself. So really neat kit from Prodos Games, $83.99. You can check it out, of course, over on prodosgames.com under the Aliens versus Predator section right there. And it goes well with the Cheyenne dropship, but it is not going to fit up underneath the Cheyenne dropship. That's straight movie magic. They copied the scales from both of the movie props, and it turns out they didn't go together to begin with, but this was the only way to get the 32mm detail that they needed for the game. So I can respect that. It turns out Hollywood is, you know, not always to scale, I suppose, right there, and I think we can all relate to that one. So thanks for checking out this video. If you like more of these unboxing features here, make sure you subscribe to us and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on our posts. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.